With the little knowledge I have put my money into different sectors. I have tried the restaurant business, agricultural, taxi. I had Uber before, and I was going around driving as a driver when I started it, because I wanted to know how this business would work out before I give it to someone else, so that I would know if the person starts telling me stories. So this is me trying to diversify what I have. In order to diversify correctly, you need to know what kinds of investments to buy, how much money to put into each one, and how to diversify within a particular investment category. If you want to diversify, if you love agriculture very well, you can also diversify your money in that sector. You can do poultry farming, fish farming, plant corn, rice, which is the biggest. There's no other part of agriculture that has more money than rice. And so if you love a particular sector, you can still spread your wings in that sector and you will make more money as long as you know what you're doing. You can invest in agriculture and diversify your money in the agricultural sector and in also different sectors. So the risk every entrepreneur must take. Risk taking is almost synonymous with entrepreneurship, as in they are the same thing. To start and support your own business, you have to put your career, personal finances, and even your mental health at stake. I know too many people that have money today, but when I tell them about a particular business or I bring up business ideas, all they talk about is what if it fails? So how will you now excel with that mentality if you're not ready to take the risk? All you do is just to put the money in your bank account and the bank rips you off. They use your money to invest and make billions, and you just sit down there. All you think about is they are protecting your money. You want to live with your money every day and you have enough. You don't want to invest because of the risk. I tell you about poultry business, you tell me about bird flu. I'll tell you about fish farming, you talk to me about how bad water will kill the fish. You're not taking any risk. And in life, if you do not take risk, in fact, life as a whole is a risk. So you need to take risk for you to be a good entrepreneur. Okay, before I start with this, the few risks in business I'll talk about is sacrificing your personal capital. Some entrepreneurs are able to start their ventures relying solely on external funding, just like investors' contribution, government grants, loans. But I always advise people with money on ground to dive into their own bank accounts and personal savings to get things started. Take that risk. If you don't bring out that money to invest, you might end up using it to buy something that is not worth it tomorrow. As you are keeping that money in your bank account, creating excuses, tomorrow if you see a flashy car that just comes out, you want to use all of it to buy it, and no one will stop you. So if you put that money somewhere, you know you're doing something, you will want the thing you're doing to grow very well. So don't just leave the money lying around. And I'm not advising anyone to use all their money in their account to invest or completely liquidate your nest. Just a little can go a long way. If you have 100 million and you put 3 million somewhere, just forget about it, just in a good business. Take your time. In 5 years' time, you realize that 3 million you put there would have gotten maybe 50 or 35. So it is possible. If you have so much money and you want to just invest a little, there's no problem. So the agricultural sector. Agriculture has been seen as a way to salvage the failing economic situation in Nigeria and several other countries. Like, I don't know how the government sees this in Nigeria, but the oil we have, tomorrow if it fails, the next thing to rely on will be agriculture. Because I don't think there's anybody that will go a day without eating something. And it sends a strong message to a lot of wannabe and existing entrepreneurs. This shows that the government are ready to support and also make a lot of resources available to ensure their successes. Okay, because now currently if you ask me, I know where you can get money to start up a poultry farm. Because in Nigeria, the central bank just released like 10 billion and they are giving it out to people, youths, because they want, Nigeria needs, we are still importing eggs today. They need to make 50 million eggs daily. So they are giving, out of that 10 billion, they will give maybe like 5 to 6 billion to each person. But they will not just give you like that. Maybe you need to get a guarantor, someone that has something on ground. So the government, they are all trying to support it in that sector. Some branches of agriculture to venture into are like cassava farming, poultry farming, fish farming, rice farming, and even agricultural logistics. Rice farming is the most profitable aspect in agriculture, especially in Nigeria, and maybe in China too. Rice farming is one of the viable investments any serious investor must not look down on. This is because of the potential for productivity and profits. One of the very good things about rice farming is that it takes less than 4 months between planting and harvesting. So just 4 months, that's all you have to wait. That's the amount of time you need to wait. Therefore, whatever amount you invest now, you are sure of your return in the next 4 months, guaranteeing the possibility for quick loan repayment. If you take a loan now and put it in rice farming, look for a swampy area, take a loan from the bank, rent maybe 1 acre, 1 hectare, put it in rice farming. Next 4 months, the production, you know that you're producing maybe 100 bags of rice and you're selling it to make hundreds of thousands. You're going to be able to repay this loan very fast because the time you wait is very short, just 4 months. Therefore, whatever amount you invest in, you are sure of the return in the next 4 months, guaranteeing the possibility for quick loan repayments if you take loan to invest in rice farming. Rice farming is also one of those farm investments government is willing to support by borrowing money and logistics to any farmer who is willing to embark on it, which is very great advantage for you. So let's go to the poultry farming. One of the reasons behind the dramatic rise of poultry farming in Nigeria is the non-dependence of educational background. You don't need to go to school to get into it. Anybody can just wake up with the money and if you have the resources, you can go into the poultry farming. Every citizen can practice the occupation, irrespective of his or her educational status. And poultry farming has become one of the most lucrative Nigerian businesses. Please, go back. Forward. So this is my own farm that I started, I think it was November. You can see the chicks, little. It was very, very hard at this stage because every day they die because of the weather. So now, I took this picture last month. See, they were like six months old, I think, and now they are producing up to 98 crates. As of today, they produce 98 crates today, which they started like 3 weeks ago. So now I have buyers every single day, too many buyers. I cannot even sell, as in I cannot meet their demand. So with my poultry farm today, I'm making around, maybe in every 10 days, I make close to 1 million every 10 days. And out of the 1 million, I'm using 280,000 to buy food for another 10 days. So just imagine how much I make in a month. And the yearly target is going to be 42 million. So out of that 42 million, the profit in it will be about 20 million. A fixed income security is an investment that provides a return in the form of fixed periodic payment and the eventual return of the principal at maturity, unlike a variable income security, where payment changes based on some underlying measures, such as short-term interest rates. The payment of the fixed income security are known in advance. So this is Galaxy Transport and Construction Company. In case you don't know, it's a company that has been running for 6 years in Nigeria. And what they do is, the company is sustainable and able to pay their customers, not just because they collect money from you and give it back in a different percentage, but they are into different types of businesses. They own quarries. The quarries provide sand that are carried by the same tippers they buy with your money and sold to different construction companies. So this one, if you come up to me now with 50,000, I'll take you to Galaxy, or I'll help you to put it in Galaxy Transport. And with that 50,000, you will make a 90% profit or more. So because they have packages like what they call sand purchase package. It is non-executive. It is a seasonal package designed for individuals who desire to accumulate funds from sales of sand storage for specific projects and various events. If you give me 50,000 now, I'll pay for one sand trip. So that sand trip depends on how patient you are. If you are very patient, they'll tell you to wait for 12 months. So I think the best way to do it, there's no maximum. You can buy up to 50 sand trips. Like me, I bought sand trips. I bought like 50 sand trips, and let's say, for example, the 50 sand trip costs $500,000. Because of the time that I'm going to wait for them to give me my money back, I'm making 950,000 at the end of 12 months. And in fact, from Galaxy alone, in a year, I'm going to be making $85,000 because of how much I've invested in them. So all they do is take the money from you. They use it for all this in their quarries to supply sand. They use your money to make more, and the only thing they do is take your time, but you don't need to do anything. And they pay, if you want them to pay you this money back monthly, they'll pay you back monthly. And if you want them to pay you once in a year, they can pay you back. They have different packages. So anybody that wants to get into this can maybe contact me and I'll show you how to do it. And also trade commodities. Many investors are reluctant to trade commodities due to the variety of myths or misconceptions by the general public. You may hear things like commodities are too volatile, or you will have truckload of soya beans dumped in front of your house. For example, if you go into livestock business, maybe energy or all these metals on the streets, or agriculture, soybeans, wheat, rice, cocoa, coffee, and sugar. There are many ways. If you buy directly from, I have people, most of the people that come to the farm to buy eggs, they go back and resell it. So every crate they buy, at least they make something out of it. So you can make money with these different commodities. I think I don't have much time to talk here. We have already taken much of your time, but I'll be glad to share more about investing and also help you invest your money if you contact me after the seminar. So if there's anybody that wants to ask me a question, please, you can ask.
I own a medium-sized rice mill in my place, which is capable of producing about 1 to 2. I usually produce about 1 to 2 metric tons of rice a day by milling. But basically, I've suffered greatly in managerial skills because I started this business in 2014, and between 2014 till 2018, the guy handling this is the third person handling the business because I've sacked the previous 2 guys. Due to gross financial misappropriation. So my question is, because I feel as a successful entrepreneur that you are, how would you advise me to handle the managerial issues I'm currently having?
Okay, thank you. There's something they call integrated marketing communication or integrated farming. There are people. Okay, for example, you can also use this to make money. Go into one field like agriculture or rice farming. Look at the possibilities. Look at the cost, the money you spend. Look at how much profit you make. There are companies which you can hire just for a little percentage to help you monitor this business and help this business grow very well. So instead of relying on just your workers, consult these companies. They will not take much from you, and they will help you manage your business and help this business grow very well. So there are different companies like this, and I know people that do it. I've applied the same system for my poultry farm. I have a company that is monitoring it for me. The same company where I buy feeds from. So they help me, they tell me if this is the problem and that. So if you rely on that company that have good background, you get good results from it. But if you want to rely on just one regular worker, they will tell you stories every single day.
Most of the times when we go for business seminars, you have like burst of energy for like 2 weeks and then you go back to your normal life. Is there any plan for you to like start up like mentorship classes here in Cyprus where after today, people can still continue to work with you, people that are interested, that have the ideas and everything, to work with you for you to mentor them from this point onward to when they can manifest this stuff?
Yeah, people are already doing that right now. I don't know about the school, but they don't support that much. I don't want to talk about that because of the race or anything. So because of that, I just tell people to contact me and I will give you the idea you want, or I will help you. I'll show you the right steps to take. And there's a friend of mine here sitting down, is rich. And this guy has been working with me since late last year. I knew him when he started donating to my foundation, which he has sent like 10 kids to school. So he's sitting down right there. Please raise up your hand. He has sent 10 kids to school, and he also, the widow empowerment program we did, he sponsored it. So this guy, I've been working with him, no classes. He's just sent me a message and tells me how he goes about this, how much he has and how much he wants to invest. I'll tell him, this is what you do. And by the grace of God, I've already helped him to build his own poultry farm that will carry like 3,000 chickens. And in Nigeria, he was not there when I did it. He only sent me the money with trust, and I went to Nigeria, I built it for him. He only went back 2 weeks ago to check and see that the work is 100%. And apart from that, I've also invested so much for him in this galaxy. So we don't need to have the classes. You can contact me anytime. If your idea is good, or if you don't have any idea, I will share with you. So I am everywhere, so you can contact me. Thank you very much.
I'm one of the directors of Wage Up, actually. We are situated in Port Harcourt in Nigeria, and we are looking to expand. So we are a media company currently working out of Port Harcourt. Our main idea is to tap into the entertainment industry today.
The problem with a lot of us is that we take a short-term loan and put into a long-term investment, and then it ends up crushing. Not because we didn't have the money. When I started my business, I didn't have it was a project of $50, just a clipper and a couple of pins. Basically, whatever you do with your hands, whether you're a shoemaker, even if you till the soil with your hands or with shoving sticks or shoving, I don't know what it's called again. With shovels, rather, do with pride. At the end of it all, you smile.
Let me just talk a little bit about Zion Cakes. Zion Cakes started up about a year ago, and then because I wanted to meet the needs of people in North Cyprus and beyond. As an entrepreneur, you have to find the needs of people and meet them. First of all, an entrepreneur is a person who envisions an idea, setting up a business or businesses, taking on the needs of his sphere of contact and expands it to the whole world at large. That is what an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur works on being. Giving himself value and a mindset that will propel him to create impact, leaving an imprint, which is influence of his personality in the world, which causes a change that outlives him. That is who an entrepreneur is.
First of all, you're beautiful the way you are. Even if you're slim, you're fat, you're good the way you are. But a lot of us want to add one or two things to ourselves. We want to look better. We all know we want to look better.
My flyers, I kept on posting my workouts, but now I thank God that I'm beginning to be known around Cyprus. Like some of you must have seen my flyers, heard about Rich Fit, and I thank God.
So my journey as an entrepreneur began about 3 years ago. Give or take, we have at least 10,000 Africans. And a typical African, what do we have in common apart from our delicious dishes? We are very cultural people. We take pride in our cultures and values. And being that I'm passionate about the whole African dream and where Africa should be. And that led me to the route of fashion.
My company, if I can call it a company, it's called Baker's Food. And when I came to Cyprus in 2013, there were a lot of Africans there, Nigerians to be precise, but I just noticed there wasn't this provision for African food. You want snail, you want bushmeat, you want pepper, you want okra, you want dried fish, anything. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anyone here, but I kind of noticed I'm the only lady that's come up here to talk. My beautiful queens, please, what are we doing? We can do this. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Let's give these men, let's give them a run for their money. Let's show them. We can do so many things. We can make shoes, we can make hair, we can make clothes.
Mr. Charles, we are pleading with you that we have such events in no time to come. And thank you again to everyone that came out here. Put in what you've learned. Don't just go and forget. Any little money you have, try and invest, because nobody knows tomorrow.
I didn't have enough time to explain more about the businesses, but you can contact me. And also, if you have good ideas that we can work with, also contact me. I can help you find investors that will invest in it. I know a lot of people that want to invest, but they have not found something they like. So just bring up your ideas. I'll try to work up with it. I've been working with too many people here, and they will tell you that we have gone a long way. Thank you guys for coming, and we have food for you guys outside.
Hi, my name is Irene.
Okay. Tell us your experience in tonight's conference.
Okay, tonight's conference was great because I learned a couple of things. I learned to open my own business. I need to be committed. I need to have the knowledge to be able to see through it. I need to have, what's the thing he called it? No, the thing in writing, a journal. Keep a journal. Write your dreams. Have vision.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine. What's your name, please?
Dua.
I heard you flew from America, yeah? For this point.
California.
That's good. So how's your experience tonight? What did you learn?
But I learned a lot, and it was very refreshing to get ideas from young entrepreneurs as well as like business investors. So I think it's a good platform for everyone who wants to go into business.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
I'm sorry, introduce yourself. What's your name?
My name is Zachary Audu, and I organized this whole entire event today, the entire seminar, business seminar.
What inspired you to organize this event?
Okay, because it's good to share ideas. I have this knowledge of starting up businesses and doing other things, so if I keep it to myself, I will not do myself any good. So I decided to share everything I have. That's why I decided to organize this thing, to impact people, to show people, to tell people about investments, and if they want to invest, I can help them to do that.
It was really a successful event. I'm sure people gained a lot from tonight. So, do you in future plan to maybe open a business that will be of impact to the students of Cyprus?
Yes, most definitely. We can do that anywhere, no matter the distance. That's why I've said they can contact me and I'll help them. So, and I'm an employer of labor. I have maybe 16 workers under me that I'm paying salary. So, by the grace of God, in the next few years to come, I want to expand to be able to employ more people and pay them salary. So, definitely, I'll reach out to people all over the world, not just Nigeria.
Alright, thank you for your time.